Hello, Don Schmidt, the Book of Luna, coming at you with today's publishing tip for the day. Now, last week I had to give a speech at my Toastmasters group, and I gave a speech that was representative of an event that happened when I was in third grade. Now, you don't think that things from your childhood can really have an impact on you, but they do. And to give this speech, I had to dig deep and think about the bullying that went on and how I had to deal with it when I was in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade. Now, I was a little kid, scrawny kid. I wasn't big, wasn't real good at sports. Later on, of course, I was. But I was a kind of like a regular little kid, and there was another kid who was huge and lived around the block from me as I was growing up. And this kid, sometimes he was my best friend, and sometimes he would pick on me and beat me up and, do nasty things to me. So what ended up happening was, the one time he picked on me and beat me up, I went to my dad and I said, "Hey, Dad, what do I do?" And my father said, "Hey, it's the bigger man who walks away." And I said, "Okay, all right, this is my dad talking. I always listen to what my dad says." So then for the next 2 years, whenever something happened, I would not retaliate. I would get picked on. I would just, not do anything. I would, be ridiculed. I would be, called names and this and that. Didn't do anything. Finally, we got to third grade, and what ended up happening was there was a concert or a play or something, and I had a big part, and I did really well, and I was feeling kind of full of myself. And it was in the morning of, the day at my elementary school. And afterwards, we went out for recess, and I said something, and this kid, didn't like the fact that, I had gotten some attention during the course of the day because of the play or the concert or whatever. And he started picking on me, and then he started, hitting me, punching me and stuff, and, knocking me down and, just making me, just really humiliating me in front of a lot of people. And a bunch of guys formed a semicircle with the cyclone fence as the backdrop and then a semicircle around. And they expected to see the same thing over again where, this guy would just pick on me and make me look bad and ridicule me and humiliate me. Well, it was kind of like the Grinch. How the Grinch, when the toys were ready to tip over the edge of the mountain and fall into the crevasse, that his heart grew 3 times the size, and he just picked up the sled and he was like, ah! Well, something snapped, and I just said, this is it. This is it. And I mean, I respect my dad for telling me, the bigger man walks away. But you know what? Sometimes the bigger man has to kick some ass and then walk away. And so what happened was, I went completely nutsoid on this guy and beat his ass into the ground. And he was running away. The semicircle of guys, he actually had to blast through and break out because I was chasing him down because I was going to beat him some more. And he had to break out of the semicircle to run away from me because I was just going to beat the living shit out of him more and more and more. Now, you may think that, hey, this is not the greatest story, but it is, because, when you've been picked on and bullied for a long time, and you actually get the chance to face your tormentor and fight back and show him where it's at and what it's all about, you not only distill in him the fact that he's never going to be able to do this crap to you again, you also get to show, because his audience is what feeds him to be the bully. Once you beat the shit out of him in front of his audience, none of them are going to do anything to you either. And for the rest of my time in school, from third grade all the way through high school, I never had a problem with bullies giving me a hard time. So, moral of the story, pick your fights, pick your battles, walk away when you can, but you know what? When you have to, take names and kick ass and make sure that people know that you're not going to be messed with. And that's the way to do it. Don Schmidt, the Book of Huda, coming at you with today's publishing tip for the day. Don't be bullied. Don't be humiliated by anybody else. Till next time, bye-bye.